No? Okay. All right, cool. Right now I'll try and see if I can share the stock list here on the screen with you. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I haven't gone through it
Yeah.
as of yet. So yeah, so
Yeah. So
I'll
I guess
just introduce
the
you.
key things in that.
So I'll just introduce you so people know you. So this is Brad from Thomas Paul Constructions, right? Okay, mate. Fire away.
Yeah, no worries. So probably the key takeouts from this stock list is, the first half of it you'll notice is all in blue, and that's all in New South Wales, and the second half of it will be in red, which is in Queensland.
Queensland, yeah.
Now with Thomas Paul, we're I'm just trying to scroll it down. There it is there. So Thomas Paul, we're a fairly niche business. We stick to certain areas, and we don't move outside of that. So really, our key building areas are the Central Coast, New South Wales, Lake Macquarie, and then up to the Hunter, up towards Newcastle Way. Really, our bread and butter. What we're building in there mostly is 4-bedroom single dwellings, 3+2 or 4+2 dual keys,
Yeah.
3+3 duplexes. From time to time, when we've got our own land, we'll have townhouse projects and self-managed super fund single contracts available as well. So really, then the last is Southeast Queensland, which you saw in red there. We've got a team up there also. Key to Thomas Paul is, we've been around 40 plus years. Um, we
Yeah.
own all our equipment, all our own vehicles, and we have control of all our own trades. All right, they're not subcontracted to us, so we have complete
Right.
control of the build process from start to finish. Everything's in house, from legal team to um, draftees, design, everything comes out of our head office at Tuggerah. All right, so it's a pretty well-oiled machine. We've got a members portal there, which is available for all your staff. So I would urge you to get them to move towards that portal, have a bit of a play around there, familiarise themselves with it. You can download all sorts of things like footprints, rental appraisals, site maps, all those sorts of things. All the collateral that's required for marketing purposes is in there. And then obviously you can call me as well. But just if you can get your team to be familiar, with what it is that Thomas Paul do,
Yeah.
and where we do it, that would be a big help.
Yeah. So is there any future plans to go into, because you're in New South Wales and you're in Queensland, is there any plans to go anywhere else other than any other states or anything at all? We're sticking with New South Wales and Queensland, South Queensland, and the Central
Yeah,
Coast. Is there any other plans to do anything
yeah.
else
So
other
that
than
we
that?
no, we won't be venturing into any other states or
Yeah.
out into rural areas or things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So pretty much what you see on the stock list, is what we do. Another
Yeah.
alternative is if you come across clients that have their own land, for example, and it's in or similar to those areas that you see in the stock list, you can
Hmm.
bring that to me and we can price up a build only as well. That's a pretty common
Right.
occurrence.
Yeah.
So you don't have to rely just on the stock list. It can also be, you're bringing land to us as well.
Right. Okay. Cool. So I've had a couple of conversations with a few builders. Are you looking at the thing with the energy? Uh, oh, I'm trying to think what it's called now. The
The
energy
bus
efficiency
exchanges.
thing. Yeah, because they're supposed to be
Yeah,
bringing
bus
in.
exchanges. So
Yeah.
yeah, bus exchanges requiring it to be star. Look, it will be a slight impact, but not majorly to us. A lot of those
Mm.
requirements we do already anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not a big thing for us. So yeah, mate, it's
Okay.
it's here nor there. It's really not going to impact too much.
Right. Okay. Cool. And I've
Yeah.
noticed like the prices have gone up a little bit recently, haven't they? So like it's interesting that these areas now have gone up a fair bit compared to when you were first doing, especially the ones in Queensland, like
Yeah.
parklands and stuff. Like, let's have a look. Do you do anything in oh, you don't do it. You haven't got anything in Park Ridge, have you? No, I don't
Oh,
think
we
you have,
do.
have you?
We've sold a lot in Park Ridge. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no,
anywhere
yeah, I've
sort
got
of
some
around
Park
those.
Ridge. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
and I think we've
I
got
don't,
we've got some land and some we've got some land and some stock coming up in Toowoomba shortly. So that
Yeah.
might be a little bit of a focus for us in Queensland.
Yeah. Because I think that Park Ridge is one of those places that nobody had really heard of it, and now it's really jumped up in value very quickly because you've got a lot of
Yeah,
interstate investors and stuff like that. And like I remember, like it wasn't too long
yeah,
ago that it was like, 450, 500, and now it's like going creeping up to 700. So
that's it.
in a
I
very
guess
short space of time.
everyone that bought with us 12, 18 months ago were rubbing their hands together. They've done really well, timed it well.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good one.
Mm.
Okay, cool. So have you got any other things that you like preferred methods of us being in contact with you? So like from our point of view, I know you've got your own expression of interest form. Um,
So just
uh,
that's it, mate. Just if you've got a client that's ready to go, just
yeah,
get that expression of interest form filled out and sent through to me. One key note there at the bottom of the form, there's $1,000 non-refundable fee. We don't
yeah,
insist on that, so that's up to your own
okay,
discretion. So if you want to collect that to help lock the client in, that's up to you.
right,
But it's
okay.
not a requirement, so it's up to you. Take it or leave that.
So is that
So
is that supposed to be for the deposit for the build, or is that just a fee for processing the contract or something?
it's part of the deposit for the build. But
Part of
when
the
we had the
biz.
boom, we
Okay, yeah,
put it in there when we had the boom on, mate, because people it was hard to get stock and people were trying to hold stock and
yeah.
putting in fake EOIs and stuff like that. So that's why that come in. We don't need it anymore, so it's not really an issue. So
Uh,
just ignore
okay.
it. But once you send through that EOI form, then what
Hmm.
that allows me to do is remove that piece of stock from the stock list, so no one else can sell it. All right, it's on
Yeah.
hold for your purchaser, and then what that does is that triggers an internal form called a sales advice, and then
Hmm.
we'll send out the contracts from that point. So the build contract will come direct from us, the builder. Usually goes out same day or next day, and then
Mm.
the second part of the contract, the land contract, will come from the land vendor's solicitor direct to the client's solicitor, and that can usually take a few extra days. And then you've got a little bit of time to obviously get the contract signed, get the deposits paid, and then if it's registered or registration is within 3 months,
Hmm.
we will need evidence of finance to exchange. If it's further
Yeah.
out than that, then we don't need finance to exchange, just the deposit and the signed contracts.
Right. I'm with you. We normally run everybody through a finance broker anyway, like just to be on the safe side. As the lead comes in, it's duplicated.
Yeah.
One side's given to the finance team, the other side's given to the agents. So
Okay, that's fine.
if they haven't had if they've already got a finance broker, fair enough. But if they're not quite with it, then the finance broker will step in and make sure that they're all up to speed with everything. So it's part of the process to
Sure.
try and iron that bit out for you. So when you do get the EOI form and everything else, these people should be ready to go basically with the finance and all that kind of thing. Be in the
Yeah, that's
process of
good,
it.
mate. Like you get pre-approval or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good way to do it.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So um in regards to stock then, so it looks like it's pretty steady at the moment. Those locations aren't really going to change very much. You said you do some townhouses, you do some single contract stuff, for self-managed super
But
funds and
we've
that
got
type of thing as
we've got
well.
a project. We've got a project coming up in Rutherford, which is sort of Hunter region, New South Wales.
Yeah,
We're going to have 15 or so townhouse scenarios there, which will be single contracts. So if you've got any SMSF clients, we can place them there. I should have some information about that in the next week or two. And
yeah,
once I've got that confirmed, I'll send it out to you. And then if you can just, cascade that out to the rest of your team, that'd be great.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
No
we've
worries.
also we've also got a lot of land in Warnervale, and we'll be doing our own project there. To be honest, probably toward the end of this year, so it's
Yeah,
not something we'll start selling immediately, but there'll be quite a lot
right.
of stock in there with quite a few different options.
So it's not going to just be 422s, it'll be like a mixture of stuff then, like dual key and some other things.
That's right, yeah. And there
One
might
of
be
the
some
other like,
duplexes in there as well, where we'll sell off one side each
yeah,
as a single contract. That's often a good option for those clients that are struggling with price point. We did it recently in Hamlin Terrace, and we had it down under 700K,
Yeah,
which is pretty good for Central Coast stock. So that's
yeah,
a
it's really
good
good.
extra string to your bow. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a new girl who's a buyer's agent that's on the Central Coast, and I'll be running some stuff past her because I think she'll probably have some investor clients and possibly
Yep.
some self-managed super clients as well. So we'll see how
Yeah.
it goes and everything.
And that's the key, mate. Like our product is predominantly an investor product. 80% of our clients are investors.
Mm,
We like use the terminology. It's a brick money box. It's not your forever home. It's there as an investment tool, and that's
yeah,
really what it is.
yeah,
We do look after owner occupiers as well. We don't ignore them, but they're a smaller part of our business. And obviously, the investor client is a lot easier because they're less emotionally attached to it. We're building 300 to 400 builds a year, so we want to
mm,
keep those wheels turning, and owner occupiers can sort of slow that machine down, if you know what I mean.
yeah. I do. I know exactly what you mean. Well, I mean, at the moment, the first-time buyers has dropped off a fair bit because of the interest rates and the price points of obviously keeps going up
That's
and all
right.
the rest of it. So,
Yeah,
so you're safer with the investor side of things and your single contract stuff as well.
yeah,
So yeah, if you want the wheels to keep turning on a regular basis, then you've got to go with what the market's doing. And at the moment,
that's
it's
right,
not
mate. And
really
that's
going up.
precisely right. Like during the boom, when the grants were being handed out left, right, and centre, we had no alternative. We had to take on the owner
Yeah,
occupier and the first home buyer. They just flooded the market, but
yeah,
the market's turned now, and it's geared more toward the investor again. So which suits us. So yeah.
yeah. Well, we're gonna look into that side of things. We're gonna do some webinars and some other stuff as well. So
Okay.
we'll be looking into the SMS stuff. So I'll keep you posted on that one. If
All
wanted
right, mate.
to you want to attend any of those, mate, just give me a shout and let me know because you're welcome to because we're going to hopefully do
Appreciate
some
that.
guest speakers. So yeah, because like
Yeah.
if we can get 100 people or plus to one of those, like we might walk away with maybe 10, 20 genuine buyers out of it.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
nice if it was all 100,
Yeah.
but I doubt it.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
mate, you
uh,
gotta lower the expectations, just like the English cricket team in the Ashes, mate.
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, mate,
Mate, if you
I
ask a
haven't
lot of
got I
English
haven't got
people,
any
they
expectations for
the Ashes.
that. Mate, I remember flying into Australia once. They congratulated me on winning, and I was like, I'm not even on the team because that's how often we win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. No, we take it very seriously. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, all good.
Oh,
All right,
cool.
mate. Well, is that hopefully that might be enough there to
Yeah,
give
I
you
think so.
a little bit more
Yeah, I
insight.
think
Share that
so.
with your
Well,
team.
yeah,
If
I
anyone in
will.
your team's got a genuine buyer and they need a bit of help with
Mm,
you know working through the package, tell them to call me.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's sort of the point where it's a warmed up, ready to go lead. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think, like as I say, as we build the team out, we'll get them to introduce themselves to you and start to build a bit better rapport. I think that's one of the main things with all the different account managers and builders that we work with. It's sort of like if you want that builder to help you, you've got to build that relationship with them in the first place. You've got to put the effort in. You've got to keep in contact with them. You've got to
yeah.
try and get
Well,
deals
I
over
can
the
see
line
some
with
of
them.
them are just flicking out. I could see some of them just flicking out to a whole bunch of builders and blind CCing them, going, "Oh, who can help me here?" Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, that's their job
No,
to
no. And
look
that's what I'm
after the
trying to
client.
get
I
across to
don't
them.
have time to do that.
No, and that's
Yeah,
the thing. And that's the thing that they don't realize. Time is money, and you haven't got time to sit there and go for a load of rubbish. And now there's anybody else. They need to drill down into it and find out the exact information and then learn about the people that they're doing business with in more detail. And I think that's what we're aiming to get to the point where they know you personally and they're doing business with you on a regular basis. That's what I'm trying to get to with them. And yeah,
yeah,
it's just a bit of a
precisely.
learning curve. So
Yep. All right, mate. Well, that all sounds good. Give us
Cool.
a